At 5, breaking news tonight. Former President Donald Trump is now the first president ever to face criminal charges. Today, a judge listed the 34 felony charges of falsifying business records against Mr. Trump. Thanks so much for being with us this evening. I'm Faith Jesse.
And I'm Jennifer Bellamy. The former president is accused in a scheme to protect his reputation by making false statements to cover up other crimes.
Yeah, Joe Ripley has been following the legal proceedings, and Joe, about every single station was following that president as he entered the courthouse. About a half hour ago, we heard from the Manhattan DA, Alvin Bragg. What is he saying tonight?
Yeah, good evening. The Manhattan District Attorney, Alvin Bragg, saying no matter who you are, the state would not normalize criminal conduct. In the last couple of hours, former President Trump's indictment was unsealed for the very first time publicly. In it are allegations of Trump personally making false business statements and having others make false statements as well. History made in Manhattan. Donald Trump walked into a New York courthouse and was processed and formally charged. He is now the first president, current or former, to ever face a judge for criminal charges.
We're really in a moment that's of tremendous consequence for American history, American legal history, and American politics.
The indictment from the Manhattan District Attorney's Office lists 34 counts of falsifying business documents, all felonies, all tied to $130,000 in hush money paid to adult film star Stormy Daniels. Georgia State law professor Anthony Michael Christ says prosecutors are now trying to prove if that money was used to further Trump's 2016 presidential campaign, building a case to show there were possible violations of campaign finance laws.
Then to conceal the purpose for the payments and the reason why those payments were made, which were to catch and kill these negative stories that would potentially harm the reputation of the former president.
Protesters, both in support of Mr. Trump and against him, lined the streets in New York ahead of the former president's court appearance. Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene was among the supporters. Meantime, Trump maintains his innocence, and his attorneys say a state prosecutor should not be bringing charges tied to federal statutes against the former president. Trump plans to run for president again for a third time in 2024.
He has decided to lean into these charges, right? He's not ashamed. He believes all of it is politically motivated. He's trying to create a veneer of invincibility with his supporters.
Trump also faces investigations in Florida and Georgia tied to possible interference in the 2020 presidential election, classified documents, and the January 6th insurrection, though Christ says the New York investigation will not impact any of the others. And right now, former President Trump is headed back to his home in Florida at Mar-a-Lago. He is expected to comment on his arrest earlier today. In the last hour, the Manhattan DA held a press conference. You'll be hearing from him along with Trump's attorneys coming up at 6.
All right, Joe, thank you so much. Well, the political effects of today's proceedings already rippling across the country as voters look ahead to Mr. Trump's 2024 race for the White House.
I am thinking that Trump is a threat to democracy, and I think he needs to be held accountable for his crimes.
I think it's a disgrace for this country what's going on, to politicize the Justice Department.
Politicians on both sides of the debate tonight, as well as recent polling, show Mr. Trump gaining ground among Republican voters. And right now, you can scan that QR code right there on your screen to download the 11 Alive News app for the latest updates on today's hearing and the ongoing investigation.